The crypto market has been very interesting, to say the least, over the last 8 days since I made one of these altcoin market update videos. We've seen some great days since then, we've seen some bad days since then, and I decided today was a day that I wanted to give you just an updated outlook of what I'm doing in this market, how I'm feeling about it, and much more. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now, first and foremost, since that last video, which was roughly 7 days ago, what's happened? Well, if you allow your recency bias to get involved, you would actually think that we've gone down over the last week. But actually, it's not really the case. If we look at something like crypto bubbles, what you can see here is that the majority of your cryptos are actually up. Obviously, some have been down, right? Phantom, Virtual, Hype, and some of these other ones are down. But in the same breath, we have Sui, XLM, IOTA, Doge, Inge, AIOZ, ARB, and many more up in the last 7 days. You head up to the top 10, and you can see the majority of your altcoins and Bitcoin itself have been up over the last 7 days as well. Bitcoin up 1%, XRP up, Solana up, Doge up, Cardano up, AVAX up, Sui up. And, that is one of the very first things that I feel like I wanted to actually talk about today, was that so many people are talking about, man, why is 2025 so terrible? 2025 is off to a bad start. And don't get me wrong, it has been annoying because we did see that fake out the other day. But quite frankly, the majority of the altcoin market is still positive since the beginning of the year, meaning that you're allowing your recency bias to get to you a little bit too much. And I actually think that's a good thing. I not for you guys. I don't want you guys to do it, but I am okay with the rest of the market doing it. Because what you will see in a little bit here is that actually people are finally starting to feel a little pessimistic. They're not as greedy as they have been. They're starting to kind of relax a little bit, which is a good sign for us. But I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. But what we are seeing right now from the crypto market is actually that it's up in general over the last 7 or 8 days, even though it doesn't feel that way. Now, with that in mind, the reason why, obviously, it doesn't feel that way is, of course, because of what we saw yesterday, right? Yesterday was kind of that big moment where everybody kind of pooed their pants a little bit. And the reason that I say that is because if you look at Total 2, which is quite simply just the total market cap of all altcoins, what you can see here is that Total 2 had a very good day, or a very good couple days, then a very bad couple of days. What you can see here is that as the new year started, man, we saw the altcoin market absolutely pumping. We came up towards the upside. We broke out of this descending channel. I mean, boy, oh boy, all steam was ahead. We were looking good. We started making moves. We consolidated right here at the top side of that channel. Then bam, we got that beautiful breakout. But the next thing you know, we do see, of course, ourselves run into some resistance at this golden Fibonacci zone. And then we get forced downwards. And boy, when I tell you Granny got kicked down the stairs, Granny got kicked down the stairs. We saw this total market cap of altcoins absolutely capitulate, leaving a lot of investors liquidated. I think we saw over $200 million worth of liquidations within 45 minutes. It was absolutely brutal. This was a brutal move. I'm not going to lie. The altcoin market was a little bit ruthless with that one because this was a brutal move towards the downside. Now, as a result of, again, this move towards the downside, a lot of investors are just feeling super pessimistic right now. And I definitely do feel a little bit concerned, which is something I will show you all later with my index that I made here, so stay tuned for that. But I do feel a little bit concerned, but a lot of people are mad about what we've seen here. Like, this was something that kind of was the nail in the coffin for a lot of people, right? They suffered in here. They suffered throughout this big pullback. It was boring right here. We finally start getting some momentum. Those lizard people make you think that you're about to go to Disney World, and then they take you to the dentist, and then you get absolutely kicked down the stairs, right? And this was the nail in the coffin for so many people. And because of that, and what we are seeing right now is a lot of pessimism in the market. Since we did see this pullback, so many people on Twitter and the YouTube comments and so many more are like, you know what, this is stupid, bull run over, altcoin season's never happening, all this other stuff. And again, which we will talk about in a second here, that has been a good thing. Now, as a result of this market pulling back, what we can see is that a lot of our cryptos are pulling back as well. You can go look at something like the RSI heat map over on CoinGlass. And what this allows us to do is see how the RSI is shaping out for each one of these different cryptos. And you can look at what's happening. These red lines mean that's kind of how they've performed over the last week. It's what they've done over the last week. And what you can see is basically every major crypto, every major altcoin has just dropped like a rock. People are selling, they're capitulating. We're seeing Ethereum to WIF to SEI to TIA, so many of them now back at this neutral zone, which is a very good sign. Matter of fact, if you go to the 24-hour, the majority of our major cryptos, except for like the top 10 roughly, are back in the weak zone, the oversold zone, meaning that they're resetting and they're resetting hard. As a result of this pullback and kind of with this pullback, what caused this pullback, We're seeing so many of these different RSIs absolutely resetting. And what you have to remember is some of the best times in history to be buying are during these weak zones, are during these oversold zones, just to give you a little bit of a hint as to what I am seeing from the what I'm doing perspective, right? Now, whenever we kind of zoom this in even further, so okay, what we know is that the market pulled back, but it's still positive on the week, but people are getting pessimistic. A lot of cryptos are resetting. Well, what are people doing as a result of it? Well, what you can actually see here is as a result of all these resets, people aren't really buying. They're not taking this as a buying opportunity. Matter of fact, a lot of people are turning on the market. A lot of people are becoming so pessimistic and they're revenge trading to the point that they're opening short trades. And I'm not talking small short trades. I'm talking big short trades. Look at the 100x leverage short trades that are open on just Bitcoin. Look at this, just Bitcoin. Let's get rid of everything. Just Bitcoin. These are all of the people who would be liquidated if the market goes up on their 100x trades. These are people who are pissed. They're revenge trading. They think the market's going to go down. They're expecting a 50K Bitcoin, a 60K Bitcoin. They want to get rich off the dump while all their friends lose their money, right? These are those people. You even look at 50x leverage traders. The same thing is happening. And what's happened over the last couple of days is a massive, massive flip in this market. A massive flip, in which way more liquidations will happen now if this market goes up on the 1 day, on the 7 day, and even if we look at the 30 day, more liquidations will happen if this market goes up rather than if this market goes down. Now, you may wonder why I'm getting so excited about that and why I'm getting so kind of hyped up about that. And the reason being, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat here, is because I believe that this market is manipulated by lizard people who pull strings that cause things to happen, right? And so because of that, in periods in which we have high liquidations in one direction, whether it's to the downside or to the upside, I think that that market will typically head in that direction. Do you remember earlier this week, I told you all I was getting a little nervous because there were a ton of liquidations to the downside. Everybody was going long. Everyone thought the market was going up. Everyone thought we were going to $110,000. And because of that, I was getting concerned. Well, look what happened with this market. We saw it pull back, and all of those people who could get liquidated did get liquidated. Sure, there's a little bit left towards like $93,000, but for the most part, a lot of these liquidations did happen. And it is something, again, I was warning you all about. As we saw Total 2 break to the upside, I said, listen, if we don't break this golden zone right here, we still could get rejected to the downside. We might see all those people who are going crazy right now on leverage get liquidated because this market could get rejected. Matter of fact, if I actually go out to the server, look what I said right here. This was on January 6th. This is in the crypto school that we have. I said the reason that it's so important that we break these golden zones is that this is the most likely level to turn this breakout into a fake out, forcing the market downwards. And so I was telling people we need to clear these golden zones because if we don't, this market might head to the downside and go liquidate all those people, and that's what happened. But now as a result of that happening, all of these people are revenge trading. They think this market's over. They think the bull market's done. They think altcoin season will never happen. And so now they're going in and they're shorting the market like crazy, opening up all these liquidations. And so what this means to me is that people are having recency bias, forgetting how this market's actually performed over the last 7 or 8 days roughly. They're starting to get mad about the market. They're losing their hope. They're exiting. We're seeing all of our altcoins falling into oversold territory while liquidations build to the upside. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know I look at this as a moment of optimism. I look at this actually in a good way. Maybe not for the short term, right? Because in the short term, things are still a little bit concerning. But from a more midterm perspective, from a long-term perspective, I actually think this is a very good thing. Now, matter of fact, what I actually did is I went and created what's called the THI index. This is a new index. It's not really an index. It's just my emotions and my feelings. I put my mood on a paper, but I thought this was pretty interesting. And what you can see here, I posted this over on my Twitter, so feel free to go follow me at Tyler Crypto Talk. But what I did is I updated this and I said, look, although in the short term I am still concerned, in the midterm, in the long term, I'm not only just optimistic, I'm getting stupidly bullish for the long term. We're talking 6 months plus, I'm getting stupidly bullish. Because in moments like these, people are now finally starting to get scared. And like I said, I'm not saying that I'm going out, and I'll talk about what I'm doing in a second here, but don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm going out and buying everything that I possibly can right now, because again, in the short term, I am still a little bit concerned. We just had a fake out. We just lost a major support level, a major rejection. The bulls lost right here. That means that this market could continue downwards. We might see this market try to head back towards this 50% threshold of this descending channel. We might see 1.3 trillion. We might come back to the green zone. All of these things still could happen. And so because of that, I'm not buying everything that I possibly can and opening up 100x leverage trades, but I am getting optimistic to the point in which I am actually starting to do some buying as a result of what we're seeing right now. I actually did announce over on my Twitter as well earlier today that we are starting to see some bullish things forming, and as a result of that, I am purchasing. I bought 8 different cryptos this morning and added to my bags. They weren't huge purchases, but they were big enough purchases to actually make some sort of a difference, especially if this market does turn upwards, because of all of these things that were happening in terms of liquidations and the recency bias that we're seeing from many retail investors. Matter of fact, if we do head out over to into the cryptoverse, what you can see here is that when it comes to YouTube views, we're seeing YouTube views fall off a cliff. This means that as everyone was all excited while the market was pumping, now that it's pulled back and dumped a little bit, everybody's getting all scared. Everyone's getting all nervous and worried, like, oh, the end of the world is here, and they're quitting. And this is what I look for. This is what I want when I start to feel optimistic. I want to go against the crowd. I'm not a good swimmer, but I love swimming against the tide, because in moments like these, historically, these have been some of the best times to start the dollar cost averaging. So yes, I am still a little concerned in the short term. We might still get rejected. We might have a good ways to go to the downside, guys. That is just the case. But at the end of the day, I do believe we are getting closer and closer and closer to a bottom, and buying right now, we're in a much better position than if we'd have been buying back here, or hell, maybe even buying back here. And so because of that, my general outlook on the market is positive. Concerned in the short term, like I said over on our index. Let me get that pulled back up, wherever that may be. Let's go back over here. I'm gonna read you that quote in a second here. But yeah, I'm concerned in the short term. The next month, guys, I don't know. I think, look, I said it right here. I think this is important. I said in the short term, as a result of the recent fake out, I expect that we will see a ton of liquidations, manipulation, and irrational market behaviors over the coming days and weeks. We have yet to see any real structural clarity since this morning's fall, leading me to have a ton of uncertainty around what direction this market is going in the short term. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know what's gonna happen today, tomorrow, or the next week. I have no idea. But what I do know is that as we are falling and as things are going down, it's becoming much, much, much more likely that we do see this market reverse and that we do get some sort of relief towards the upside at some given point soon. And so with that in mind, I'm actually getting very excited. I'm getting very bullish. I like what we're seeing, and I think we're in a good spot. I'm not doing gigantic purchases yet. I would like to see a little bit more clarity. For example, if we go back over to into the cryptoverse, when you look at total altcoin market risk, our risk levels are still pretty high. We're not back below that 0.5 level, which historically is a good time to pick up the purchases. So I'm still doing tiny dollar cost averages right now, but I am dollar cost averaging, and I am starting to buy as a result of what we're seeing right now. So I think it's a very good thing. Now, I will give you a little bit of a hint. You know what? As a special gift to me, I'm just going to show you guys some of the things that I'm buying. I don't usually do this here on the channel. I like to save it for the school, but today I'm feeling a little bit happy. I'm liking what we're seeing. So I want to tell you some of the things that I bought today, okay? So today I went in and I bought some Ethereum at $3,355. I bought some Solana, some XLM, some ADA, HBAR, Pepe, XRP, and Caspa. These are the ones that I did some purchasing on today. I said, remember, my entire strategy for DCAing is simply to buy tiny amounts when we're at key support levels or showing bullish signals. It's that simple. I'm doing nothing big right now. No big buys, no big sales, no leverage trades. Tiny DCA and chill. So there's a gift to you. I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm buying. Again, I do post this a lot of the times over in the crypto school, but I wanted to share it with you today. And I guess I will give you a little bit of alpha about the crypto school right now if you do want it. We made this crypto school for 3 very specific types of people. We made it for beginners who are trying to figure out all of the weird elements in crypto and get a grasp on what's happening. We made it for intermediate people who have kind of developed some skills, but they have no idea how to turn those skills into strategies. And then we made it for the advanced people who have their strategies but feel like their winning ratio could be better, but they can't figure out how to make it better. We made the school for those 3 specific types of people, and what we do is very, very simple over here, guys. We take those 3 types of people, we give them courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, trade signals, research, Q&As, and much more to help them develop their strategies and to turn those strategies into gains. And don't take it from me that people are making gains. I mean, you can just go out to the community gain section and just look yourself. I'll just scroll up for a second and you can see the absolute sheer amount of gains that are being generated in the server on good days and on bad days. It literally does not matter. It is absolutely insane the amount of gains that are generated here. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day from this community. And the best part about it is, guys, you'll get your money back guaranteed if you don't learn anything with this. And it starts as little as $5 a month with that link down in the description below. There's a $5 a month option, $17 a month option, and then the executive tier is sold out for now because we only have limited space in there. But overall, feel free to check that out if you do want to do that. Now, like I said, yeah, so with that, just kind of jump back in here. As I said earlier, I did do some buying today. I am getting more optimistic. I do really like what we're seeing. And again, although the short term can be a little sketchy, I don't particularly care. I don't really react on emotions anymore. I honestly am starting to feel like as I'm getting deeper into this crypto market over the last 5 or 6 years now, I've just cared less. It's almost in a spot to where even when I'm excited, I don't feel much excitement. And when I'm concerned, I don't feel much concerned. I don't really feel anything in the crypto market. I'm sure let me know if you're a vet, if you've been around the crypto market for a while, do you feel that? Do you kind of feel like your emotions are just becoming kind of like numb at some point? I don't really care. I base my strategies off of data. I base it off of statistics. Okay, RSI oversold, probably going to buy a little bit. Okay, RSI overbought, probably going to sell a little bit. It's not greed. It's not concern. It's not fear. It's really none of those things. I made a tweet the other day that I want to share with you because I think it's pretty important. And it kind of goes over that. I said one lesson that I've been reminded of over the last few weeks is that this market is not your friend. Just because you love crypto does not mean that this market loves you. At every turn and corner, this market will try to force you out, leaving only room for those who are the most resilient and the most willing to sacrifice. It is your duty as an investor to create strategies that are based on data, not emotions, and to stick to them no matter what. If you fail to do this, you'll be easy food for the lizard people, and you owe it to yourself to not let that happen. And that's the reason why on days like today, where everybody's betting against the market, everybody's scared, everybody's worried, I'm still willing to do some purchasing, and I'm not feeling all that bad. It's because I am optimistic about crypto. I understand the long-term value, and I think it's going to reach that intrinsic value that I think that it should. And so because of those things, I wanted to share my thoughts with you today. Again, I'm not saying that I'm going buy anything on leverage, right? I'm not leverage trading. If you do want to leverage trade, you can. Feel free. I'm not at this moment, but you can get a 10% bonus on BTCC. That will be linked down below if you want to go check it out. I'm personally not leverage trading right now. I'm not doing big buys. I'm not doing big sales because, again, the short term, the next couple of days or weeks, I got no idea what might happen. We might fall 20% more. Oh, well, it is what it is. After that, though, midterm, long term, it's getting more and more bullish, and I'm able to see that because you just have to remove those emotions. And so I hope this was helpful. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit. This video is a little longer than I intended it to be, but I hope you guys are capable of learning just kind of the way that I look into this market and peel back the curtains and look at the fundamentals and social metrics and more to remove my emotions and inject data to form my thesis. And so I hope it's helpful. Let me know your thoughts about the index. I really, really like it. I think it's pretty cool. It does take me a while to make it every day, so I think I'm only going to do this once a week. I'm going to update this unless something big happens. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget, I post a ton. Dude, I post a lot now. Over on Twitter. This is my brand new Twitter account, 956 followers, trying to get it to 1,000. And I like to post a lot. So feel free to go check it out. It's at Tyler Crypto Talk. It will be linked down below. Don't forget to go check out the school. That is linked down below, as well as BTCC if you want to go check it out. But of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's update on the altcoin market, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.